again, welcome to my journey. Today's video is weigh-in. How did I do? Y'all not gonna believe this. Listen, I messaged my doctor about this whole not losing situation, and the nurse called me back yesterday. I'm gonna tell you everything she said. I got it all written down, but we'll get to that in a minute. Let me tell you about my weigh-in. I weighed in at 304.2, and that is a gain of 3 pounds. That puts me back down to 72.9. So my little button has not earned its spot this week. Why are you laughing? To keep from crying. I do know I am retaining fluid, especially in my leg. It's draining pretty heavily because it's soaking my sock. It hadn't done that in a long time. I can't wrap them because I can't get and bend on the bed with my knees the way I need to get the wraps around them. So it's going to be something I'm going to have to ride out. I'll just have to ride it out. But I still think I should have lost weight over and above what I'm retaining in fluid. That's why I wrote the doctor. I'm like, I don't understand. I told him, everything I'm doing, I'm keeping my calories under 1,000. I'm keeping my carbs under 50. I'm drinking my fluids. I'm exercising as good as I can. I could do better. I could do better. So what am I doing wrong? And she called me back. And these are the things she does. These are not in any particular order. Just as I was sitting here jotting down everything she said, this is just how they come out. And until I wrote them down, I didn't realize we talked about so much. But she said, now this is in order. This is the very first thing she told me. She said, don't worry about your weight right now. I'm like, that's what I'm worried about. She said, don't worry about the weight right now. You're still new. So they're not expecting you to just fall into a pile of weight loss right away. This is common. I asked her, we'll get it in a minute. Concentrate on the habits that we told you about. So concentrate on eating your protein, keeping your carbs low, drinking your water. Concentrate on those things. She said the getting healthy part of it instead of the weight loss part of it. I'm trying to read my writing. Oh, she said, I lost a lot of prep weight, so that can cause a stall. Which she's the one that told me, the nutritionist is the one that told us that. Well, actually, the nurse did too, come to think of it. She told me that in one of my visits before I even did my pre-op. So, yeah, okay. So, there's that. Because, I did lose a lot of weight. Here's a big one. Stay off the scales. Y'all know I weigh every day. I missed the day the other day because I just really didn't think about it. I think I was busy. I was doing something. I was sleeping. I don't know. Because, I've been getting up at 1 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I've been getting up at 1 o'clock. Listen, sometimes I get up at 12 o'clock. I'm like, just go back to sleep. Sometimes I can. Sometimes I can't. So then I sit over here and I doze off. I sit back here. It don't matter if I'm back here doing something. If I'm sitting in there in the chair watching TV, I'm going to doze off. Well, don't sit in your chair. Do something. The only time I'm not dozing off is if I'm up and going around, walking, doing something, shopping, moving around in the house. If I'm sitting back here, I will doze off in 2 seconds. It don't matter what I'm doing. I will nod off just as good as if I'm sitting in the chair watching TV. So, what was that? Was stay off the scales? How did that have anything to do with staying on the scales? Oh, because I didn't get on it like day before yesterday. But I'm going to have to try to stay off it every day and just get on it on Thursdays. And try not to worry about what it says. Try not to let it affect me. And that's hard. Some of y'all know how hard that is. Then she goes, maybe 1,000 calories is too much. This is a hard one. Maybe 1,000 calories is too much. She said maybe between 500 and 800. I'm like, I'm between 8 and 1,000 now. I can't go as low as 500, y'all. I can't. The thoughts of it. I can't do it. I can't do it. If my weight loss is stalled, I said last week, and I don't know why I used the term 500 calories last week, and she used it this week. I had nowhere in my paperwork did I see that, unless it's in there, and I just subconsciously thought of it. I'm like, I'll do whatever. I'm not going to eat 500 calories unless the nutritionist tells me to. Well, here's the nurse saying keep between 5 and 8. I can't do 500 calories. I can't survive on 500 calories. So I'm going to keep it between 8 and 1,000. I just am. Stop stressing about it. That causes weight gain. We're going to talk about that in a minute. Stress causes weight gain, because I told her, I said, it's weighing on me. And it is weighing on me. And it's been weighing on me ever since surgery. It's been weighing on me since the first week I weighed and didn't lose any weight. It has been 5 weeks now. And for 5 weeks, I have been stressing over it. I'm telling y'all, don't compare yourself to other people's journey. Okay, fine. But it still didn't stop the fact that this is my journey, and I'm not seeing the scale move, and I know the scale should be moving because you have weight loss surgery, and that's what it's supposed to do, and it's not doing it. So it's weighing on me. She's like, don't stress, because that causes weight gain. Move more if possible. She said exercise helps to a point. Now, they say you'll lose more if you exercise, but she said it helps to a point. So it's not the end all and be all of weight loss. This is what I asked her. I said, does this happen to other people? Is it just me? She goes, oh yeah, it does happen to other people. It's common. So who knew? I'm glad that I'm not alone. I'm sorry for them, because this is a sucky place to be in. But I'm glad to know I'm not alone, and it does happen to other people. I mean, I talked to some people. Oh, that was another thing she told me. Let me write that down so I don't forget it. I wrote it down. I'm going to tell you right now, but I wrote it down anyway in case I want to go back and look at my notes. I saw people on the Facebook group that said, oh, they're having this problem installing and this and that. None were like immediately post-op, but she said, that's the way she said it. She goes, oh, yes. So it does happen. And I told her, I said, I was on the Facebook group. I said, I quit the Facebook group because I was comparing myself, and I shouldn't have been, but it was getting to me. Excuse me. She said, that's probably a good thing that you did that. She said, plus, you don't know how honest those people are being. She's right about that. Some people will just say all kinds of things to like boost their own self-esteem or something, or to make out like they're doing better than they are. So you don't really know if what you're reading is the truth or not the truth. So she said it was probably a good idea that I did leave the Facebook group. Drink your water. She said, be sure and drink your water, which they consider all fluids, all liquids as your fluids. Be sure to eat your protein. I'm eating my protein. She asked me, how much protein am I eating? I said, I'm eating between the 70 and 100 calories, grams. She said, good, that's where you need to be. If a particular food I eat is a little high in calories, maybe substitute with a protein shake if it's lower in calories. Well, the protein shake made with water is lower in calories, but I make mine with either oat milk or almond milk or the Fairlife protein milk, the Fairlife fat-free milk, which has protein in it, more protein. So that adds some calories. But if there's like a heavy calorie dish that maybe I'm making for supper, maybe I should choose to have a protein shake in place of it to save those calories. Check my food for the nutritionist, which I've been tracking pretty doggone good for me. Any tracking is good, but I've been tracking pretty doggone good in the Healthy app. So those are the things we talked about. But she told me just don't worry about it. She said it will come. That's what she said. She said it will come. So I'm just waiting on it to come. I think I've been more than patient. You go through weight loss surgery because it is proven to help you lose weight, and you don't lose weight, and it's very discouraging. That's what I told them when I wrote them. I'm like, I'm very discouraged. I try to be positive for y'all, but I just listen. This is just the reality of it. I'm discouraged. I didn't only not lose weight, I gained weight, which I'm not making an excuse, but I do attribute it to this leg over here. But I still didn't lose weight. Even if that 3 pounds was fluid, I still didn't lose weight. I stayed the same. So, anyway, I was going to talk about stress. When she said stress makes you gain weight, I thought, well, let me come back here and just read about this a little bit. And Holly, she was here yesterday, her and the baby. Oh, I love the baby. I messaged her. I said, I want to see the baby. So they came over. Oh my gosh, he is the sweetest little thing. He's so sweet. And he gives kisses and hugs, and he knows his little baby sign language. Yes, he's doing really good. But she said, I was telling, because the nurse called while she was here, and so I was talking on the phone while her and David were in there, and so they heard my end of the conversation. We were talking, and she goes, stress, she said, is raises your cortisol. She goes, that's the one that makes you gain the weight. So I'm like, okay. Sure enough, stress increases cortisol, and cortisol is a stress hormone. Cortisol is a significant appetite stimulant. Now, I believe that because I stay hungry. I can't eat like I would have if I hadn't had this surgery, but I stay hungry. And when I eat, I still want more. I don't eat more, but I want more. So I'm always wanting something to eat. So that, if you're stressed, and they said in there that is a reason why people go reaching for comfort food. They said that is a natural reaction to the stress. The raising of the cortisol is to reach for the comfort food because your body is trying to comfort itself because you've like triggered a threat, and so it's looking for something to answer that threat. I just want to figure out what I'm trying to say. So it's common for when you're stressed to reach for the food. Every article I read said cortisol makes you hungry and will make you go for the food. So you don't have to use it as an excuse. It's go read about it. Go read what cortisol does. When you get stressed and you release that cortisol, go read what it does. You'll see. But here's another article that says it's not always overeating. Stress is not overeating that causes the weight gain when you're stressed. It is, research shows the steroid, let me see if I can say this right, glucocorticoids, pretty good, which are produced in abundance. It's a steroid, did I say that? Cause the development of fat cells. So it's not just cortisol that makes you hungry and makes you eat, and then that in turn makes you fat. The steroid that is released produces fat cells. So stress is the enemy. We got to figure out how to relieve our stress. The different articles, they mention all kinds of things like exercising, taking a walk, getting out in nature, doing breathing exercises, spending time with a pet, doing a activity you like. Listen, I go shopping a lot. I'll tell David I got to get out of this house, and a lot of times it's because I'm hungry, and that's been way before I ever had this surgery, I would be hungry and all I'm thinking about is food. I'm like, I got to get out of this house. So I get out of the house. And of course, when I get out of the house, I'm going to spend money. That's how it works. But so if you're stressed, gosh, we got to figure out a way to not stress. Now, my stress is not over anything in my personal life. It's over this whole weight thing. And I don't know how to relieve that stress other than to start losing weight. And I don't know how to start losing weight because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing to lose the weight. And I tell you, I'm not going down to 500 calories. I can't help it. Y'all can fuss at me if you want to, but I cannot go to 500 calories. I'll never make it. I will not physically or mentally be able to eat only 500 calories. I just cannot do it. But all the other things I'm doing. So I gotta believe her that it's going to happen. But how do I not stress about it until it happens? I don't. It's a hamster wheel. Don't stress about it till it happens. Well, till it happens, I can't quit stressing about it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. What y'all do? What y'all do to relieve stress? Sometimes I come back here to the craft room here. I can't think of stuff to do. I'm sitting at a stall. I made a few little things, and now I'm stalled out again. I can't think of nothing to do. I can't think of nothing I want to do. There's Christmas ornaments I can make, but I have a tree planned. I bought all those owls at the Dollar Tree, and I have some other owls. Y'all have sent me some owls to go on the tree. So I'm going to have an owl tree this year, so I don't need to make any ornaments. I have my tree planned. I think I have all the Christmas decorations I need. I haven't pulled them all out to look, but I think I made a lot of stuff last year or the year before. The year before. It was not last year. It was the year before. That was the year Noelle died, and that's the year, I went head first into crafts. That's the only thing that kept me going was sitting back here having a craft to do. And then I stayed busy. I made all kind of stuff. And then it's like it got out of my system and I couldn't think of nothing to make. And then I got into this paper craft, making my books. And now I'm kind of running out of steam on those. And then my junk journals, I work on those sporadically as I get things that I want to put in it. I don't always have stuff to put in it because y'all know I like a lot of magazines and a lot of junk out of magazines I like to put in mine. But I can't think of like little extras to add to it. The journals I have in there, oh my gosh, I have some nice ones that I have very creative stuff in them. And it's like, okay, I did everything I know creative to do for that. So now I don't know what to do for that. So I'm just kind of at a standstill. I would like to go and do embroidery, but I can't see that good. And my eyes get blurry, and I know I got to go get new glasses. I just haven't got around to doing it yet. So I can't really see what I'm doing to do that. Although I may try. I don't know. I may give it a try. I got several things I would like to cross stitch, but I really can't see to do that because that's very small. Now they probably make bigger cross stitch material with bigger squares, I could probably do that. Maybe I'll look into that, but then the arthritis in my hands, that's tough on that. You know what I mean? I tell you, when you're falling apart, it's rough. Golly, it's rough. But I don't know nothing. I haven't done anything this week. When did I go to the Dollar Tree? I think that was this weekend I went shopping to the thrift store or whatever. About time to go back. about time to go back. They'll be working on the garage again this week. They gonna eventually get it finished in there. They put up that wall, and when they get that wall and he gets his stuff off of my side, they have to like store some wood and sheetrock over there while they're working on this part. And he had to put some of his car parts over there to get them out of the way to where they could get to the ceiling and all this and that. When they finally get all his stuff out of my side, then I'll be able to go over there and organize. I got all my Christmas stuff in here, so I can start looking through the boxes, but I guess I could start wrapping presents because I got a lot of presents bought. I got a lot of presents bought. I'm almost finished. I think I'm finished with actually all the adults. There can always be some more for the grandbabies, and they get more than the adults. They was like, how much we spend this year? So I've been doing all the shopping. I told him, he goes, okay. I said, except the grandbabies, they get more. He's like, yeah. So now we'll get Sebastian the week of Thanksgiving. So I don't know. RJ has broached the subject with his mama, with Sebastian's mama, if we're getting him for Christmas. Here's what I'm thinking. The visitation agreement, which she's been going over and above what the judge said. The judge was ridiculous. It was like 4 times a year. That's it. For, was it like a week, 4 times a year, something like that. And she's over and above that. We've seen him more than that. But now that he started school, that's diminished. But the agreement was every other Christmas, and that was just up until he started school. So now that is over and expired, I got a sick feeling she's not going to agree to it. I got a sick feeling since we're having him Thanksgiving, she's going to say, no, I'm going to have him for Christmas. I got that feeling. I'm not trying to be negative, but y'all know me. Negative Nelly. That's what I think about this surgery. What if I'm one of them people that it don't work? Golly. Crazy now. I looked it up. Does weight loss surgery ever fail? Does a gastric bypass ever fail? And yes, it does. Sometimes it fails. Sometimes down there at the Y, it fails. It's not allowing the hormones that reduce the hunger and all that to do its thing, and they can go in and do revision surgery. And I'm thinking, well, it'd be my luck. That's just how our family is. That's how it works. If anything can happen, it's going to happen to us. That would be my luck for my surgery to have failed. But I'm not going to. I'm going to keep. I say I'm going to keep holding on to the fact that it is going to happen, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, well. Listen, I ain't got nothing fun to talk about today. I don't think I do. Lord, we was talking about Thanksgiving, and RJ said him and my brother, which is his uncle. My brother's his uncle, because y'all know how that works, right? Well, my brother is only 1 year older than RJ. He's my baby brother. He was a week old when me and RJ's daddy got married. And then we had RJ like the next year, whatever. And my brother was 1 year older because he was born in July and RJ was born in October. So I got married in July the 1 year and had RJ October the next year. And so my brother is a year older. And so him being his uncle, it's weird. But they were talking about messaging each other about Thanksgiving, what they wouldn't do to have one more Thanksgiving at Mama's. I'm like, ain't that the truth? Just one more Thanksgiving with Mama's. He said they were talking about they just didn't realize how good they had it. That is, we don't realize what we had until it's gone. And then we take it for granted when it's there, and then when it's gone, it's too late. I mean, what's done is done. And then you got to deal with the fallout of all your emotions of what you did or you didn't do when it was alive, be it a person or event or, a happening or something, whatever it is, when it was alive and happening then. So that's something we can think about coming into Thanksgiving, is to be thankful for what we have right now. Listen, I need to be thankful, talking about this surgery, I need to be thankful that I came out of it, healthy, that I recovered stupendously. I mean, I had a recovery beyond recoveries, and foods don't make me sick. Sometimes I wonder if they did make me sick, maybe what if I'd lose weight? But I mean, still, you should lose weight on less than 1,000 calories. You just should. We've already beat that horse. Stop. But going into this Thanksgiving, we got to maybe be a little bit more mindful of what we do have, and what like the people in our lives, a roof over our head, food in our belly, a car to drive, the simple things in life. There's people out there. I was watching something. What was I watching? Was it the news? I think it was the news. I very rarely watch the news. If there's nothing else on, then I'll turn and watch the news. I really should watch it more, but it gets to me. And they were talking about homeless people and how many homeless families there are. Married people with children that are homeless. These people, they have nowhere to live. They don't have a secure, safe roof over their head. And that's just, like the man said they were interviewing, that's one of the basic things in life that everybody should have. We should all have a roof over our head. So we take that for granted. People down there in that hurricane, look how quick they lost their houses and stuff like that and their place to live. Look, how long are they going to be displaced? It can happen like that. People's houses burn down. All kind of things happen. So, don't let that happen to me. I don't want to jinx it by talking about it, because y'all know I believe in jinxes. So we need to be mindful of the things that we do have. Whether it's the best of everything or not, it's yours. I don't live in the best house. I don't have the best possessions, the very best of things, but what I have is mine, and it's home, and it's comfort, and it is. You don't have to have the best of everything to be at home. Home is in here. Home is what you make of it. I don't care what you live in. Please. That's your home, and you feel safe and comfortable in your home, then that's all that matters. Be thankful for that. Be thankful for food in your belly. Oh my gosh. I had somebody, was it at a church or something I read or something I seen? They said, be thankful for dirty dishes. And you're like, what? I hate dirty dishes. Dirty dishes mean you had food to eat. Be thankful for laundry. Who is thankful for laundry? People that have clothes to wear. So those are the things that we got to, like, and I know this is early. Thanksgiving's coming up. It's coming up soon. It's not too early. It's never, you don't have to be at Thanksgiving to be thankful. It's funny how we have one day that we're like, oh, let's be thankful on this day of Thanksgiving, when we got 364 other days. Ain't that how many days in a year? 365. 364 other days of the year that we should be thankful. Not just one day. That's why me and David, we don't celebrate our anniversary, because we don't say one day to make a marriage. It takes all the other days. We're like, okay, happy anniversary, if we remember it. And we never remember it. You know when I remember it? Is when I get a Facebook memory and it says, it's your anniversary. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, honey, guess what? We missed it again. Kids think it's hilarious. That's because we don't focus on that one day. That one day, if one day of your marriage makes or breaks it, you got some studying to do. You need to think about that thing because it takes all the days of the year to make a marriage. There's nothing wrong with celebrating it. I mean, we celebrate birthdays, weddings. We celebrate all kinds of things. It can be a celebration, but don't be one of these. And I'm just gonna put it out there. Don't be one of these wives that jumps on your husband if he don't give you flowers or candy or jewelry or a card. Just don't. Just be thankful that you have him, unless he's a butthole. Then kick him to the curb. That's terrible. That's terrible. If he is one, try to change him. If you can't change him, get rid of him. I ain't making light because I done been through a marriage and a divorce, and so I know what it's about. I shouldn't make light of that, but so. How did we get off on the anniversary? How even did we get off on the anniversary? I don't even know how we got off on it. And if you do have a good man, be thankful for your good man. If you got a good woman, be thankful for your good woman. Because I'm going to tell you what, me and the girl up at the Dollar Tree, I had run in there to get something. And, I still had David's credit card where I went to the grocery store. Because we put the groceries up on that credit card and get that cash back, honey. And I put it out and started to pay. I said, "Ooh, I got my husband's card." She said, "Go on, swipe that thing." We was laughing. And I said, "He's good." I said, "He's good to me. He's a good man." She said, her daddy did her mama the same way. Said, he did everything and your money's your money. I said, a good man's hard to come by. She said, yes, it is. So, it's the truth. How am I even getting off on all this? Listen, y'all just going to have to take today's video for what it is. Oh my gosh. Be thankful. How about that? But really, I'll give you a PSA. I was making light of if you got a butthole of a husband, get rid of him. But seriously, if you're in a abusive situation, please do seek help. Please do try to get out of that situation. All jokes aside, do not stay in an abusive situation. It is not worth it. It is not worth it to say that you're married. It's not worth it. You can't, and you can't live on the past. You can't live on memories of, like, if it was ever good. You can't. You can't. The present. You can't make that up on the memories. It don't work that way. The present is what you got to focus on. So if you are in an abusive situation, then I urge you to seek help to get out of that situation, and especially if you have children. Even if you don't have children, you're important too. You're important too. Let's don't forget that. So before I go off on some kind of weirdo tangent that is just totally off the wall, we are going to close it out now. If you stayed this long, you're a good friend. So let me know down below what you do for stress, to relieve your stress. Chronic stress that just is just something's weighing on you and it just won't get off. What do you do to try to combat that? Let me know. So, okay, I'm going to hush it up and I will see you in my next video.